Hi everyone, Darren here again, and this time we're looking at an overview of the Wagner spray guns. Now this video forms part of our Airless Paint Spraying for Beginners series, so if you're an experienced painter this might not be so suitable for you, but if you're new to paint spraying or if you saw someone spraying and you weren't quite sure what type of gun they were using, well, keep watching because this video will help you out. So I'm going to take you through some of the different types of Wagner spray guns that you will see in the industry. So I'm going to start off with the air spray guns. Now these air spray guns primarily use air in that the material, and I'll give you an example to help me here. In front of me is the Wagner Finish Control 3500. Now the unit itself, it's basically just using air to press out the material. The material itself is in a container, and in another example, the FC5000, you'll have an air compressor separated from the spray gun where the spray gun is holding the material, and in a much larger HVLP machine you would have the FC9900 Plus, which also has the air compressor separated from the spray gun. In each of these cases, primarily what's driving the paint onto the working surface is the compression of air. So it's an air pressure forcing the material onto the surface. Next, I'll move on to what we call the airless spray gun. Now, as the name suggests, airless means that there is no air pressing the material out onto the working surface. It's only working with the material under pressure. And in this case, we can look at the Vector Pro, the Vector Grip. So these two guns from Wagner, they come in a 2-finger or a 4-finger trigger version. Here the 2-finger, and we've got a 4-finger version. The Vector Pro, the handle design is a lot more simple, whereas the Vector Grip, as the name suggests, will have a slightly more ergonomic feel. The handle has got like a hard rubbery plastic bit here, which allows for your hand just to sit a bit more comfortably onto the handle. Now these are airless spray guns, and you'll be familiar and be able to recognize them fairly quickly by maybe one of two reasons. The one would be is that the nozzle itself, it will look like it has two handles, and that's the nozzle. And there is only one single attachment at the bottom of the handle, and this is for the material hose. So material is being supplied through the hose into the handle and out through the nozzle. A variation of the airless spray gun that's used for plaster would be the AG19 and the AG14 from Wagner. Now these guns will look very similar to their paint spraying counterparts, but the AG19, which is used for spraying for plaster, will be a bit larger just because the nature that plaster material is larger particles, and so the gun will need to be able to handle a larger material volume coming through the gun. It also has just a single hose attachment at the bottom of the handle, and also uses the nozzle that has a handle on it. So if there was maybe any confusion that might happen between the different spray guns, it would probably be between a gun that's used primarily for plaster or a gun that's primarily used for paint. So if we're wanting to combine the air spray with the airless spray, we get what's known as airless air-assisted spraying. Now Wagner have a patented gun called the Aircoat spray gun, and you'll be able to identify the Aircoat spray gun. In front of me, this is the AC4600. You can identify it with a 4-prong nozzle in the front, and there are now 2 connections at the bottom of the gun for 2 hoses, one for air and one for material. The airless spray guns are using a spray tip that you might be familiar with, that is a reversible spray tip, whereas the Aircoat guns are using a flat spray tip. The difference between these two would be that with the reversible spray tips, if there's a clogging in the spray tip, you'd be able to just, as the name suggests, reverse it and spray and be able to clear material out of the spray gun, and then you just turn the spray tip back again and keep spraying. Whereas if you're having a clog on the flat tip version, you will first need to remove the nozzle and get to the spray tip. With the Aircoat flat tips, you won't need to actually clean the whole nozzle. You'll also just be able to turn the flat tip, spray to clear out some of the material, and then take the nozzle off, turn the flat tip again and put the nozzle back on, and you should be able to spray again. So the clogging, if it does happen on your spray guns, it should be fairly simple for you to release a clog just by turning the spray tip in either case, but you will need to remove the nozzle with the Aircoat spray guns. And there you have it for a beginner overview of the Wagner spray guns. A few quick pointers. If you see a gun on a video and you're not sure which one, look at two key areas. The one would be at the bottom of the gun. If there's a single hose and it's looking like a single held gun, it's probably an airless spray gun with a material hose feeding the paint into the gun. Or it could be, if it's looking on the larger side, it might be a plaster gun, also with a single hose. As soon as you see 4 prongs on the front of the nozzle and you see 2 hoses feeding onto the gun, it's probably an Aircoat hose. And if you're seeing a device that looks a lot more like a compressor, or if your spray gun has a container attached to it at the bottom, then it will probably be an air spray gun. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to purchase one of these products or learn more about them, or maybe just have a question, please leave it in the comment section below and we'll be happy to help you. Alternatively, you can give us a call. And any of the products you've seen today, I've put some product links in the description to help you, and there'll also be an article overview that you can go through. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great spray.